welcome to Not Made. I'm Rachel, and today we're going to talk about what I have made since my last video as I'm prepping for market. I don't think it's been quite a week, so I'm probably going to add some more on the end of this and try to upload this on Sunday. I think that would be a full week, but I'm gonna have to go back and check because I'm not sure. So last week I did make myself a list, and I have been working through that, trying to stay on task, but I actually did do a couple of bonus patterns, so I'm going to share those with you as well, just because I don't know about you, but I like to keep it, you know, varied. Get a little bored. All right, well, let's just start in no particular order because I just have a really precarious bag right here with all of the things that I have made so far this week. Actually, yeah, I'm going to start with these guys. So I know I was talking last time about my little axolotls. This is a Stitch by Faye pattern. Sorry about the lighting in here. It's kind of weird. I'm trying to figure it out. This is not the best place to record. So as I mentioned, I was doing complementary colors. So yes, but the thing is, I made this guy first, and if you'll notice, I forgot his tail. I got to the end, and where, like I told you before, her patterns are very similar. So this gingerbread man that I've been making is her pattern as well. It's basically the axolotl without the tail, right? So my brain thought I was making this, even though I knew I was making this. So I got to the part where you would finish off, and I finished off and didn't give this guy a tail. So he looks a little bit more like an alien, maybe. But anyway, here's his buddy that does have a tail in the complementary colors. So I've got those two axolotls. Maybe he just lost his tail in an accident. We'll go with that. I did make another Christmas pickle. I think I have two more of these I want to make on my list. This is a pattern by All From Jade. And it was on her advent calendar series last year, so I'm gonna be doing her advent again. I reached out to her because I was like, I haven't seen anything on social media about advent calendars yet, crochet advent calendars, and last year it felt like everybody was doing them, so I was a little bit like, maybe they just didn't have as good of a time, and so we're not doing it this year. But I did reach out to her, and she was like, yeah, I already sent the email out, and sure enough, it was in my spam folder. So if you do Jade's advent calendar, make sure you check your spam folder and sign up for that if you want to do it again this year. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, this was one of last year's. It still needs a face, obviously, but the pickle itself is done. I believe I need to do two more of those to get my list. And then I did this guy. So say hello to Penny. This is a friendly penny, okay? Just keep that in mind. Friendly penny. This is a free pattern on Instagram as well, and I cannot remember who the pattern designer is off the top of my head. Well, let me look. All right, I found it. This is by KD Crochet 0603 on Instagram, and it's a completely free pattern. So I like it, and it's got a bunch of different, I mean, obviously you can make whatever kind of variations you want with it. The only thing I really kind of modify is I leave off the big nose. I just kind of like it simple like this. It makes me think of a mime. And then I do put the legs a little farther in front. Hers I think are more on the sides, but beyond that, it's a perfect pattern. As far as I'm concerned, it's very simple. It works up very easily, and I don't think that anybody would have a really hard time with this one for the most part. So I got one of these that was on my list. I wanted to make another clown. I have two now. So I've got that clown. The other larger item that I made this week was, oh goodness, fuzz everywhere, the gingerbread man. Again, this is by craftfulmade.by.jy on Instagram, also a free pattern. And I literally just watched a video today where somebody was comparing free patterns versus paid patterns, and they, you know, got similar items. So, and this was one of the patterns that they compared, and I don't know, I'm not sure. I know it was kind of a hot take video. I think that this is adorable. And even though the basic shape literally could be anything, when you change it up, you know, color wise or adding different features, I feel like, I don't know, I'll add more on that on my own hot takes video, but I actually liked this one better than the one that she paid for and did. Just personally, just personal preference. I thought this one was cuter. The other one obviously had more details, which in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of sewing the parts on. I just don't like to do it. So if I can find a pattern where it's low sew or no sew, I'm going to choose that 10 times out of 10 over a pattern that wants me to sew on a bunch of different parts. And a lot of times I'll take a low sew pattern and I'll just modify it myself and make it no sew because I just don't want to sew on parts. It's like, ugh, yeah. But that's just me. And I get that if you want the more detailed amigurumi, then you're going to have to sew. That is just the way it is. So that's why I tend toward maybe the more basic shapes, because I think they're cute and I don't have to do all of that. So anyway, I got this guy done. I have one more to make of that and to complete my list. And then I have, let's see, oh good night. All right. I have 6 of the gingerbread men, and I said in the last video, you know, I was struggling with the posh yarn because you know, I have a very limited amount, so I switched up the yarn. And actually I'm just gonna put them all out. People can choose which yarns they want. These colors, these are different obviously. So this guy right here is made in the same color as that larger gingerbread man, and then this guy is made in a slightly different color. They all look gingerbready to me, so I'm good with this. So yeah, I've got 6 of those guys that I made this week. I think I wanted to make, let's see, what's my list telling me? I've got 2 more to complete my list, and anything beyond that will be bonus. All right, then I finished up a couple of itty bitty kitties that I was working on with little Santa hats. These guys are so fun. I just love the way they turn out. I don't know, can you really kind of see? Yeah, and his hat. And then this one I did with like a variegated yarn. I want to make a few more of these with the Christmas sweaters, so those are on my list as well. But I got these guys done. I had the bodies pretty much done. I just had to finish them, sew on the tail, and then work on the hat. Oh, and I got down this guy who was the complementary color for the purple and yellow that I showed you in the last video. So another axolotl. And then I got 2 cappies done as well. And again, remember what I said about the low sew? These are a pattern from Poggy's Place. They are the Critterlings pack. And in that pattern, she actually has you make the whole cappy. The feet are bobbled. They're stitched in. But the ears are done separately. And I kept looking at them and I was like, do we need to do the ears separately? And the answer is no. I can make a bobble ear and put it on there, and it looks just as good as the other one. So again, I'm going to modify them to make them as low sew, no sew as possible, and that's just me because I don't really care to go back and sew stuff in. Obviously that's not sewing, it's crocheting it in, but it's just another step. It takes extra time. For these guys, these are all of course surface crocheted after the fact, and it takes almost no time. It's not a big deal. And there really wouldn't be another way, I don't think, to do this really easily. So I don't mind doing that. It doesn't take that much time, but if I can make it so that I don't have to go back in with a complementary color of yarn and do something else, then that's definitely what I'm going to do. All right, so this was another one that I made this week. I think I may have mentioned that I wanted to do a Scrappy Bear. Well, let me find the pattern. Okay. This one is by Hooked Crochet Co. And it's a free Instagram pattern. Okay. I love the way it turned out. I filled the middle with beans in a I don't know if you can hear it. So he's a little beanie in the middle. I just used a nylon, knee-high nylon what do they call those? Stocking. And put the beans in that. So that's pretty much all he's got in the middle, and then all of his limbs are stuffed. So yeah, I used scrap yarn for this guy, and I love the way he turned out. I had 3 of them on my list that I wanted to make for this upcoming market, but I don't think I'm going to prioritize that. If I can get another one done, then maybe I will, but this was a lot of sewing, guys. So of course each limb, obviously. Now the limbs are crocheted in, okay? What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of parts, all right? So I have to do 4 limbs, and if I did another one, I would definitely change this by adding a couple more rows on the arms and legs, just so they dangle a little bit more. I love the floppy aspect to it. Of course, this is separate, each ear is separate, so it's just kind of a lot. It took a lot longer to make it than I was anticipating, although I knew there was going to be piecing involved. So the only part you actually sew on are the ears and the muzzle. The rest of it, I mean, these are stitched in, obviously, and then the head is just a color change to the body if you want it to be. So anyway, I think it's super cute, and I'm definitely happy that I made it, but I don't know that I will be batch making these right now, because it's a time crunch thing. So that guy was super fun. Okay, so what were the extras that I did? Okay, so the 2 axolotls, oops, sorry. The 2 axolotls, the one without the tail and the one complementary color, those are extra because I didn't put any more axolotls on my list, just because I've got a few. However, I do feel like they are pretty popular and they would sell well as the $5 items. So, and I've got this pattern memorized, so when I have a moment between students, I'm probably going to make this guy or one of the gingerbread men versions. So I've nearly got all of those checked off. The axolotls will just be extra that I have, but I need to start working on the Poggy's Place $5 items. I'm going to do the cappies, the donkeys, the elephants. I definitely need more of those. Actually, I need more of all of those. So I need to start working on those instead of the axolotls. It's just such an easy pattern for me to just pick up and make. The other extra that I did was this little Christmas frog, Santa Frog, I'm calling him. So this was a free pattern by so.plushie on Instagram, and I'm going to make a second one of this today if I have time. It is Thanksgiving Day today, but we're doing a slightly different thing this year, so I have a little bit more time. So when I have time, I'm going to do a second one of him, and then I'm going to tell you what I changed about this pattern and see if it actually works, because I have an idea. But anyway, here's a cute little froggy with the Santa hat. I think I'm going to make a few of this guy and just combine them together in the same display as our gingerbread men, because I don't know why, it just feels like it goes together. Gingerbread and Santa frogs. All right, so that is what I have gotten so far for this week. I will hop on here again and finish out the video with whatever I make in the next couple of days. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving, and I'll be right back. Okay, so these are a couple of display stands that I purchased from Amazon, and they came with no hardware to put the legs on. And these shelves are pretty unsturdy. Like, I think if I got the legs on, they would stay okay. But I'm just going to liquid nail the whole thing together, because I don't plan on taking it apart and putting it back together every time anyway. So I would rather it just be steady and stable. So I gotta get that project done, hopefully in a few minutes. Okay, today is Saturday, and I looked at my other YouTube video from last week, and I think I published it on Monday. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what I've gotten done since the last time I came on, and then I don't know if I will continue this particular vlog through tomorrow or if I'll just publish it tomorrow, because that's kind of what I was thinking of doing, trying to publish on Sundays. I don't think it really matters, especially because I'm not super consistent, so whatever. Regardless, one of the things I wanted to talk about that I kind of mentioned last time was this Santa frog. Was this the one? No. Okay, here's the Santa frog. So I made this first one, and I was not in love with the way the hat worked, because you can very clearly see bits of red. See, the lighting is weird. Sorry, I can't figure that out either. But you can clearly see bits of red through the hat onto the green where it's connected there. And I did not like that. So I was looking at it and I was thinking, you know what? I think that the pickle pattern, the Christmas pickle, which, ooh. Okay, it's similar, where you start with the hat and you work your way into the green color change. So this is all from Jade's pickle pattern, and I really like her joining technique because you can't see any, sorry, can't figure out where the camera is, can't see any red around the edge of the hat. So I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna try that on the frog pattern. So I used the hat joining technique from all from Jade's pickle pattern, and then I used it on this froggy, which I don't remember whose pattern that was. Let me find out. I'm gonna give people credit. That's so.plushie. So you got so.plushie's I can't get it straight, frog, Christmas Santa frog, and then all from Jade's pickle, and they're both free patterns on Instagram. And I just absolutely love that you can learn new techniques from free patterns. Nothing against buying patterns. I've bought several this year, and I think that I'm going to make a video out of me forcing myself to actually make the patterns that I bought, because I don't know what it is about it. Once I've purchased it, it's like I've got this mental block against actually creating the pattern that I purchased. Except for one that I just got, and I'll show you that in just a second. But anyway, free patterns can teach you a lot. And I get that, you know, some people are like, oh, it's just basic shapes. You just, you know, slap a different color on it and it turns into something else. And I understand that criticism, but I love free patterns because they work up easily usually. So if you're a beginner crocheter, you have access to a lot of patterns. You can feel super excited and accomplished because you were able to create something, but you also learn different techniques. Okay, so anyway, I did that. I used all from Jade's color joining on the hat to the pickle with the Santa frog, and I thought this was the same color yarn, and it wasn't, so of course I had to make another one. So there it is. I don't know how obvious it is, the difference there that you can see, but it's pretty obvious to me. So I just like this the hat join better. So anyway, all of that to say, I'm going to make a few more frogs. I did make this one in a different color yarn, different weight too, obviously. I mean, they look totally different. This is no, this is Big Twist Posh, and this is Chenille Home Slim, I want to say. And then this one was the hang on, Baby Bee from Hobby Lobby. Baby Bee Adorable. So this was the burnt pumpkin, but I got this greenish color from there as well. I'm referencing my checklist here. Okay, so I got the, are those even on here? Those are extra. Santa frog. Okay, yes, I got the Santa frog. They were not on my original checklist, but they are on there now. And then today I have been working on some cappies, some capybaras from the Critterlings pack from Poggy's Place. And yes, these are, they're so fun. I just love these little guys. So I've gotten 4 of those done today. So I'm adding those to my list. I wanted to make 25 more. Oh, Why is that sticking out? Let's fix you. You got extra yarn sticking out there. All right, I've got, so this one I forgot to do the ears. I don't know if I mentioned it the last time. I forgot to do the ears in the round like I had mentioned, so I just bobbled them on. I didn't even follow the pattern. I just did little bobble ears for this one, so that's why it looks ever so slightly a little more alert than the regular sleepy ones. All right, so I've got 25 on my list of items to make. Now I have 21 because I've got four down. So I'm going to continue working on those because I really want to have a lot of the $5 items. But I also don't want to, I don't want to have too many of the same thing, because what's happened before, and I'm not a hugely experienced market person yet. I've only done a few, but even though that's the case, I've still had this experience where I've made multiples of a certain thing because I thought it would be popular, and then it just did not move. So case in point, my candy corn, my little candy corn guys, this one is, I guess he's here to live with me forever because he got dirty at the last market. You can see that dirt he dropped on the ground and it instantly was filthy. I could probably clean him, but you know, he's a little, he took one for the team. Anyway, I think he's adorable, and I just thought that these things would go like crazy, and they did not. So I still have some that are going in my I'm gonna have a little discount bin or clearance, maybe. I don't know what to put on it. Trying to get rid of some of those things that I've had around that I thought were going to be way more popular than they were. So there's that. And then the other thing, speaking of patterns that I purchased, I have been watching I've been binging YouTube content while I've been market prepping and just watching past markets of people. Like seriously, the algorithm's going back quite a ways at this point. So anyway, I was watching a market by Nook's Hooks, and she calls herself Nook, so I don't know what her actual name is. I don't know if that's anywhere on her socials. But anyway, I was watching one of her markets, and I was watching her prep. Again, this is probably another video, but I was watching her prep her little hoodie bears, her hoodie creatures. She's got elephants, I think a cow, I don't even know what all. But anyway, I was like, I love that pattern. I absolutely want to have that pattern. And I even commented on her video that I was going to get through this market because, you know, I already have my list and all this other stuff. And then I was going to get her pattern and start prepping that for my future markets, because I did sign up for 4 markets in the spring: January, February, March, and April. And then by the time we hit April, it's starting to get way too hot here and nobody wants to go to a market in triple digits. So I was gonna use that pattern to prep some stuff for those markets, thinking, you know, oh, this is gonna be, that'll be great. But I went ahead and purchased it because I knew I wanted to, and I was going to anyway, so I just did. And of course, once I had it, I had to make these bears. Okay, so this was my first one, the little hoodie bear. Oh my goodness, you guys, I can't even. And it's just the little extras, you know, and this is the difference, I guess, between maybe a paid pattern and your typical free pattern. So these legs are a mod on her Instagram. So the regular bear has just the built-in like standing legs. These ones are a mod, and I think I didn't even do it. I think I have 2 extra rows here, which I actually kind of like. I like them to be a little more dangly and floppy. So anyway, the little hood comes off, which is just too much. I can't. You guys, I just can't even with this. It is so cute. This is 100% no-sew. I mean, obviously, other than the nose that you embroider on. There's a little bit of face shaping involved. It's nothing major. And her pattern is, oh goodness, so much fuzz. Her pattern is very detailed. The instructions are so thorough. Well, at least I found it to be so. But like, seriously, the fact that there's a little like cuff on the sleeve, so it's not just the colored choin, you know, and then the same thing with the bottom. It is just those little itty bitty extras that just elevate that plushie. So you guys, I'm hooked. I'm gonna have to make a bunch more of these things. And then if they don't sell, what am I gonna do? My daughter latched onto this, and I thought she seriously wasn't gonna let it go. She was determined that she has to have this. So yeah, they generally want everything I make, but this was another level of intensity. So I have this one with a kind of variegated pinkish berry color. This is the Bernat frosting, baby blanket frosting that was on sale at Walmart sometime back for like $2 something a skein. So that's why that's all up there. I did not have a project for it, but I think this this is perfect. And then I did one in the blue that I also used for the suckers on the tentacles for anchor. So they're just precious, absolutely gorgeous. And I kind of want to just keep them. They're so cute. So anyway, I got 2 of those guys, and then a friend of mine who's going to come visit the market while I'm there said that her daughter wants one. And I said, well, if she wants one, let me know what color she wants for the hoodie, because I could kind of do a custom order for her, and I know she'll be there to pick it up. So anyway, I'm going to work on that as well. So I'll have at least 3 of them. I don't know if I'm going to do more. I mean, I would love to, but you know, I've only got so much time, and I've got students coming back this next week. Got the piano recital for my students, and then the following week we have a Christmas concert that we're doing. So it's a lot, and I don't want to stress myself out by putting unreasonable expectations. I'm already looking at this list, and I'm going to be crossing a few things off. I'm going to do that right now. Those ones are a no-go. I tried that pattern and it wasn't flowing for me, and I didn't want to have to stop and figure it out. This is a no-go. The Beanie Scrappy Bear, I showed you the one that I made. I'm not going to make another. That's going to be a one-off for right now. I may make some more in the future because I thought it was super fun, and I love the scrappy idea of using up your yarn extras. So that's done. I did get the clown done, so yay that. I only need 2 more mini gingerbread men to meet my list. I need another larger gingerbread man, and that's what that Yarn Bee burnt pumpkin was that I showed you. And then I need to make some piggies so that I have some pigs to go along with the hens, so it doesn't just seem like it's just a bunch of hens for some reason. So, oh, and then all the little critterlings that I still want to make. So, you know, oh, I'm going to cross off the Hungry Hippos too. I'm not feeling that. And if I was going to make something more, I feel like I would rather make another hoodie bear. So I definitely want to get the piggies done. I got to get the critterlings done. I've got to get a couple of Christmas sweater little itty bitty kitties. So I've got one that's mostly done here. So I just need to finish that. And I may let that be it for that as well. So it's just going to depend. It's going to depend on how things are going. I tend to want to push myself a little too hard, and then my wrists start hurting, and I don't love that. So I'm just it's gonna be what it is. I'm okay with the amount of inventory that I have currently. I feel good about it. I would like to have more, because especially when I went through my last video, if you watched, just kind of breaking down the inventory, I feel like, I don't know, I would like to have more. But I'm not going to worry too much about making a bazillion other things. I've got enough right now that I feel pretty confident that I'm going to have a nice display. I got to get those wood shelves glued. So I will probably do that. And then I want to work on some of the piggies, because I need to get those done. I want to get at least 4 of those done, and I've got 2, so that would give me six piggies to sit on the shelf with the hens, or chickens or whatever. And yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do going forward. So I will I'm gonna go work on that shelf, and I will take you along for that. And then I think I am going to wrap this video up tomorrow, so I'll be back with anything else that I've made between now and then. All right, hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I will see you in a very short second. I believe that the glue worked. I know I didn't get these lined up exactly correctly, but that's gonna be fine. They're sturdy enough, stable enough for the little plushies, so that's one project down. Alrighty, so we're back. Try to ignore that mess. Eventually I'll get in here and get stuff figured out and cleaned up. But I just wanted to wrap up this video. I did finish the shelves yesterday, so that was huge, getting that project off the list. They are glued together just fine. I think they're gonna work. Hopefully they'll hold up for a while. So I wanted to go over what I finished yesterday to kind of complete my week. I got 2 piggies done, and these ones are bigger than the other ones because I used the burlap blanket yarn, and every time I convince myself that it's not going to be that bad, it's still that bad. So I have a skein of this color and the burlap blanket. I don't know what color it is. It's pink. And I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and use that because I've been saying for a while now that I want to be done using burlap blanket. Now, I will say that the burlap blanket, the baby blanket yarn is much softer. Just the regular blanket yarn, I really struggle because it just hurts. It hurts my wrists after a while to use it. But I got 2 of the piggies done. They're quite a bit bigger than the other ones, so I'm not sure exactly what to do about that with pricing. We'll see. And then this morning I got one more little cappy done. So I had to give it credit where credit is due. And that is what I've gotten done this week. So I'm going to go over a yarn haul real quick because I had to stop at Michael's today. Again, I'm not super thrilled with our Michael's selections, but they did have a buy 2 get 1 free yarn Black Friday thing going on. So the reason I went was because I need a green for somebody who wants a bear with a green hoodie. This is the darkest green that I could find. It still looked green, and it is Bernat blanket mystical. Again, with the Bernat blanket, I struggle, but this feels a little softer than this. The problem with it, I feel like, is that it's just too grippy. And so I feel like I have to use a whole lot more force. I don't know. It may not be great, but I'm going to use this for the hoodie bear that I need to make with a green hood. And then I guess I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it was Bernat. I was just looking for colors. And then I got in Sweet Snuggles Light. This one, which is turquoise. Again, I'm thinking ahead to the hoodies that I want to make on the hoodie bears. Got this one. I got a purple meadow violet. And then the other skeins that I got were these. I really like these colors. So these are the Loops and Threads Sweet Snuggles Light. What are they calling these? I don't know, Robin Blossom. I don't know if this is any particular, I guess it's just straight Sweet Snuggles Light, but they're all, ooh, shedding already. They're all this kind of like flowery floral pattern that I thought would make really great hoodies. And so those are the 3 of those that I got. I have also used these colors for my hens, chickens. This one's not finished, doesn't have a comb or eyeballs yet, but see, I just love the way it works up. To me, it just looks so whimsical and fun. So I like those. I'm going to use those for those bears. And speaking of yarn, I had quite the tragedy the other day. I'm going to try to put a picture in here. I don't really know how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to put a picture in at some point of what happened with this yarn. It is the terracotta and chenille hum slim. Now I don't know if this has gone completely out. I don't really keep up with where they keep their yarns and how in stock or discontinued they are, but I use this color for gingerbread men from the very first market that I made, and I absolutely loved the way that it turned out. And then the following year I was looking for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I checked every Michael's I could find, and then one, I happened to be somewhere random that I'm not normally, and I went into the Michael's and there was 2 skeins of this, and I think I'm down to, this is the last one. Anyway, I went to try to find the center pole, and there was no finding it. The entire inside of that skein was just a complete wreck, as you'll see in the picture. It was more than just yarn barf. There were several factory knots, and I feel like the skein just somehow did not get wound correctly, and I spent hours, well, at least over an hour trying to untangle that thing, and I didn't. I was so close to just cutting it off and throwing it away, which I have done before. But because I knew this was only skein of this yarn color that I had, I wanted to keep as much of it as I could. I ended up having to cut it, so I ended up with 3 small balls of this color yarn, which I have used for my hoodie bears as the bear color. I did put in an order for my first time ever from Premier. I don't like shopping for yarn online because I can't touch it, but I've just been taking the advice of other people who know, and I went ahead and grabbed some. So I'm hoping that the teddy bear color-ish that I got from that will work, because I've never been able to find this again in any of the stores that I've gone in. So I'm a little on the low end of a teddy bear color. So anyway, I thought I would just share that little yarn haul and that little experience with you guys for what happened to me this week as far as crochet and yarn go. Anyway, I hope you all have had a great Thanksgiving. I believe I've mentioned that before, but yeah, and we're running into December. So tomorrow is the first day of All From Jade's Advent calendar, so I'm looking forward to that. I haven't quite figured out if I'm going to be doing Vlogmas. Last year it was a little rough trying to do one each day. I think what I may end up doing is giving myself a time frame, like I only have an hour or whatever to work on that particular pattern, because I still have to market prep, and that needs to be a priority. So, but I still want to do the All From Jade Advent calendar, and she did remind me multiple times last year that it's not meant to be a challenge, but I like to challenge myself. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. So stay tuned for that tomorrow, and I will see you guys then. Bye. So is this just like a shiny hair, or is there fuzz? You never know with me. Okay, I'm gonna put the Santa pickle. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put the Santa frog